Hi again, YouTubers. So this is a review on a product that was sent to me from a company called Famous Dave's, and they make self-tanners. I always think of Famous Dave's like the chain, I think it's like a barbecue place when I think of this. But this is the Small Batch Reserve Light Medium Professional Self-Tanner. This is what the container looks like. It's a nice plastic, but it's like a sturdy feeling plastic, a thick plastic with a nice pump to it. There is 8 ounces in this container here. The tanner itself is not tinted. It is more of a lotion format. So it doesn't have a tint to it and a guide. Now, I did put this on. I have it on right now. It is just a very nice, natural looking tan. It is not too dark, not too light. It looks as if I am very fair skinned. It looks as if I went out in the sun and got a little bit of color versus some of the self tanners that give you a dark, dark, dark tan. This one is great for this time of year in the beginning where nobody's like super dark yet. So you just want that little bit of color so you can wear some shorts and dresses and sleeveless things or short sleeves and not feel like you're completely white. So I do put this on with a mitt. I tend to just buy the ones from Ulta that are like, you know, a couple dollars. There's 100 different companies that make them. I'm sure they even make one as well. They do on their website, I will say, have a great, great way for you to determine what color best suits you. You put in what your skin tone is currently and what shade you are looking to achieve, and then it'll give you options inside of that as to what would best suit you. This bottle is $38. I think a lot of them, let me take a look real quick. I mean, there's less expensive. This is probably one of the more expensive ones that I'm finding. But I really like this time of year and a good natural looking tan. This definitely gave me that. The biggest thing about this that I was like wowed by is that I could use this on my face. And it's weird. I don't usually test self-tanners on my face. I usually put self-tanner all over my body and then I just bring it up on my neck. I don't put it all over my face. But for some reason I decided to try this. I don't know. God help me when I do something like that, because really I do so much to my face to get rid of sunspots and things. Why would I want to chance it? And this actually, it didn't cause me to get any blackheads at all, partially because, keep in mind, it doesn't have that color guide. I believe the color guide a lot of times is what gives me, you know, the clogged pores with the blackheads on them, and it's the coloring from the products more than anything. It didn't break me out. And it left me with a very nice, even flush. Now, don't get me wrong, it washed off like within a day or two because I use retinols on my face. I exfoliate my face way harder than I do anywhere else on my body because I use a Clairsonic and a daily peel, so the color goes by very, very quickly. The color faded very, very nicely, very naturally. It didn't, as you know, some self-tanners, when they fade, and again, I think sometimes if we go too dark on a self-tanner, they fade unevenly because it's much more noticeable. Because this was fairly close to my skin tone, when it faded very evenly and wasn't patchy or dry. Part of that being because it's a lotion versus, you know, the mousses sometimes adhere a little bit more in certain areas, stick to areas that have like I have an area right here on my arm that, if you can see right there, there's spotting, and the mousse ones adhere to that 10 times worse than it is here. And I usually have a spot there that I have to kind of work with. With this, that didn't happen, which is really, really great. As it faded, I felt as if it just kind of reduced how dark it was instead of being blotchy. I'm sorry. Instead of being blotchy in areas, it just kind of faded naturally. I did put lotion on my hands, my feet, and my ankles and elbows and knees before I applied this as well, which makes a huge difference. If you don't do that, it does stick in those areas and it kind of really, you know, they're the driest areas on your skin. And plus, feet and hands, you don't want it. I mean, you can see I don't have any like you know how you can usually see in between the fingers or the knuckles? Like, it's not like that. Nothing on the palms of my hands because I did use the mitt. As I said, when I put it on my face, it didn't break me out and I didn't have issues, which I really, really liked. Will I do it every single time? No, but I did do it this time. As I said, on my face, it lasted about 2, maybe 3 days. I think it was closer to 2 because it's already gone on my face, but it's still on my body. And this is, I put this on 4 days ago now, and I still have that healthy color and glow. I would say usually I personally put self tanner on about once a week. This one I have done, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and I'm probably only at about right here on it. It does not take much of this at all. Now that's another thing that's really different because mousses, I'm used to using like 3 pumps. 1 pump of this does all of 1 arm. That's a lot. So you don't need as much of this product. So if you're paying $38 for a Saint Tropez bronzing mousse that might be a little bit bigger, it's not going to last you as long because you need more pumps of it. But I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a here or there, like, because that one is also more, like, it takes less of the product to make those pumps because it's a liquid that then gets pumped out to a foam. But yeah, I can see in I can see a little bit through here. It's kind of hard to see through the thing, but I think I'm right about here. This does not take much. Like, for my face and my neck, I used like not even a half a pump. It was crazy how little you needed of this. And because it's a lotion, it smooths on very, very easily. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to do kind of my rating, but we'll see what we can do. Pigmentation is great on this. It doesn't have a guide, but the pigmentation when it does develop is wonderful. It does not also, to me, have the self-tanner smell once it develops. When you put it on, it has like kind of like a cocoa butter-ish scent, which I'm not a fan of, but I didn't notice it. It didn't stick with me, so it's not too bad. But after I put it on at night before I go to bed, and it doesn't stain my sheets, which my Saint Tropez does. So does my $1 Million Tan. It does not stain my sheets, and it develops overnight, and then I get up in the morning and I jump in the shower and make sure I rinse anything off. I didn't notice when I woke up, as I said, any sort of scent, which other ones I do. I didn't notice that with that, but the pigmentation on it was wonderful. It truly was a light medium tan and very well developed and very, very pretty. So pigmentation is a good 5 out of 5. Texture on it, it's a nice, smooth, easy to work with lotion. So it's very, very smooth and very nice texture to it. So good 5 out of 5. Longevity, I think it lasts similar to any other, I'm so sorry, any other self-tanner I have used. It really does last a decent amount of time. I think that, 5 to 7 days is my average of how well it lasts, and this lasts in that range. A lot of others that I use tend to be closer to the 5 range. So longevity is a good 5 out of 5. Application, this one does not have a color guide. I didn't notice any of their other products that had a color guide to it. So I will take some off for that. I'm going to say this is probably a 3.5 out of 5 because it is super easy to apply because it is very smooth and it moves very easily and is very easy to make sure you get in all the areas. You can feel where you've missed areas. But because it doesn't have the color guide, does leave a little bit of room for error. People that have done self-tanner for years, like me, will be fine with it. But if you're new to this, it might be a little bit difficult to know exactly where you're putting everything. So 3.5 out of 5. Packaging, I think the packaging is very nice. Like I said, it's a good sturdy feeling, like plastic container. The pump is nice. The pump is easy to control. It doesn't squirt a whole bunch out. You can control how much you're getting. So packaging, I think, is a good 4.5 out of 5. Price, $38 is, to me, normal for most self-tanners that get you these type of results. Yes, you can go and buy some in the drugstore for $10, $15. Those ones, I have tried those again this year just to see. They do not perform the same. They don't last as long. It just has a totally different way of doing it, and I have not found any that I would say suggest. So price to me is middle of the road. I'm going to give it a 3.5, 4 out of 5. It's not wow, oh my God, I got this for a great deal, but it's also not ridiculously expensive. Product overall on this, I'm going to say this is a good solid 4, 4.5 out of 5. It's a very nice product. I love the color. I love the way it lasts. I love the results I get. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a color guide. I'm used to that, but I find as if most people, it is something that is extremely helpful for them when using self-tanner at home. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review on the Famous Dave's Small Batch Reserve Light to Medium Professional Self-Tanner. Please let me know if you have any questions about this that I didn't answer here. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.